What's up YouTube, back with another video. I'm getting ready to cook some braised shredded beef and I wanted to bring you guys along. Now before we get started, I wanted to be very clear. I'm not a chef. This is not meant to tell you guys how to make carne deshebrada. This is simply showing you guys how I make it. I'm not telling you, hey, follow my instructions, this is how you do it. I'm simply showing you guys how I get down. So as of right now, really the only three ingredients that I've used is lemon juice. I was too lazy to go to the store and pick up some real lemons. I've got chopped onions. Same reason, I don't want to pick up onions and cut them up. And I've got garlic salt, which is incredibly important because this is what's going to give the majority of the flavor. I also normally do diced tomatoes in there, or when I do have time, I'll go and get real onions and just cut them up and dice them up and throw them in there. But today we're keeping it real basic, using these three ingredients. So I went to a Mexican store about an hour ago and I got 2 pounds of chuck roast meat, and I sliced it a little bit so that we can get some decent sized chunks in there. And again, like I said, it usually takes about an hour and a half. I usually do a real low, I should say, temperature. And so I let it just basically sit there for an hour and a half until the meat is ready to go. Now, because I don't have time to be shopping for vegetables and whatnot, I am a strong believer in Bird's Eyes mixed vegetables. I get this 5-pound bag that includes corn, carrots, green beans, and peas. So I don't need to be doing any kind of cutting. All I do is again, because I'm lazy, I put it in a cup, put it up in the microwave, and let it cook for about 3 minutes until they're all ready to go. And that's basically how I eat shredded beef. I don't do anything fancy like tacos or enchiladas or anything like that. I just basically strip it and then I saute it with a little bit of seasoning, and that's all there is to it. That's all she wrote. I keep it real simple. Once the meat is done here, I'll shred it up and then I'll saute it in a pan with a little bit of, I normally use olive oil, but I don't have any right now, so I'm using vegetable oil. I'm getting ready to move here. And so that's all there is to it. I add a little bit of salt and then pair it with vegetables. Okay, we're back. I overcooked it by about 15 minutes. So that's why you see it's a little bit darker than I normally like. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to strip this very fine. And once we're done stripping it, again, of course, this has no bone. We're gonna put it in a pan with a little bit of oil, and we're gonna use some of the stew to throw in there, season it a little bit more, and we'll come back with the final result in a little bit. Okay, we are at one of the last steps here. So we're gonna put a tiny bit of oil, strip the meat here, and if you notice, I left a lot of the stew in there. So let's go ahead and slap it on here. All right, let's break out the fork here. All we're doing, remember the meat is already done. All we're doing is moving it around. All we're doing. So I got this way up high. Sprinkle a little bit of garlic. just to give it a little bit of flavor. And that's all she wrote. Probably want to go up a little bit higher so we can get rid of that. I don't like leaving a little bit of stew in there. So if we can just get that higher, we'll get the perfect consistency. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are done. So we basically sauteed this for about 5 minutes, if that, just to give it a little bit of flavor with that garlic salt. And this is the final product. Very, very simple. This is, again, not to be confused with any kind of fancy dish, any of those enchiladas, tacos, burritos. You can get so fancy with this meat. But all I do is steam vegetables on there. As you can see, I don't cook it all the way through. I don't like my meat well done. And so what I'll do is I will finish it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the veggies to give it just a little bit of flavor. Again, you're not going to drown it in Parmesan. You can if you want to, but for me, you just sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan to give that vegetable, because I don't season the vegetables at all. I just basically dump it from the frozen bag to the microwave, and that's all she wrote. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found this honestly kind of comical, how simple this is and how simple it tastes. I think the garlic and the chopped onions give it more than enough flavor. My palate has already gotten used to it. I'm trying to eat healthy for the most part. I know with the oil that I put on there, which is a very minimal amount, but still I know I shouldn't use it. I should just use the stew to kind of saute it, but this is how I like my plate. If you guys have any fancy recipes, drop them down in the comments below. I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys come up with. We'll see you with the next video.